leads to 4th down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Pilardi now on to punt as he sends this one away. Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. Well, before the possession switches here, I had written down that I wanted to talk about some of the awards this past season in the NFL. We know Brady was the MVP, but Todd Gurley, Offensive Player of the Year.
How about that for a bounce back? Many were questioning whether he'd had a sophomore slump the season before. Didn't even get to 1,000 yards. Was a dominant force in 2017. How about his teammate Aaron Donald on the defensive side? He took home Defensive Player of the Year award.
Yeah, very impressive. They had both sides of the ball. Sean McVay deserving, I think you would agree, of Coach of the Year.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, what he did for the Rams when they went from last in the league in scoring to leading the league in scoring and winning a division title. And how about the New Orleans Saints? Rookie of the Year, offense and defense. Alvin Kamara on offense, Marshawn Lattimore on defense.
A big 3rd down play there for the Jags. 53 yards on the ground. Fournette, a 1st down carry. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
And there's a nice stop for the defense. They've had a tough time containing this guy all game long. But maybe they can build a little bit off of that play, a little bit of confidence, a little bit of momentum. Yeah, every now and then you can actually tackle that guy.
And a good run as he manages 7 yards down to the 17.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground.
Here we go now. 3, 39.
The play fake to Ivory. Now Bortles. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by James Bradbury. And a short return to the 6-yard line. Well, they thought they were going to break the tie. The defense had other plans. They were already in field goal range, but boom, an interception.
I don't know if this was a case of being a little bit too greedy with the opportunity to put points on the board, but give credit to the guys on the defensive side. Hung in there, battled, and made a key play.
So the football switching hands here in just a second. And, you know, Tom Brady, just to go off on a tangent, but 3rd MVP this past season, and what he did at age 40, really something, right, Charles?
Absolutely phenomenal. Ended up beating out Todd Gurley, the running back for the Los Angeles Rams. But he would have traded it for a Super Bowl win, don't you think? How about this? The last 9 NFL MVPs to play in the Super Bowl that same season, 0-9.
Yeah.
He go all the way back to Kurt Warner in, what, 1999 when he won the double?
We were going over that stat earlier. That is hard to believe.
But he would have been the MVP had the Patriots pulled that one out.
Yeah, he still has 5 rings, though. 5 Super Bowl titles for Brady. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Well, they tried to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. 2 minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. A reminder, coming up at the intermission, we'll get highlights of this Super Bowl from Larry Ridley and the crew in Orlando with our EA Sports halftime report. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
One thing rookies need to learn at this level, and quick, make a cut, be decisive, and go. Because in college, you could dance around and wait for a hole to open because you're probably a better athlete than most of the guys on the field, but not on the NFL level.
Newton looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Shepard. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
Boy, a call like this, certainly tougher to make in a Super Bowl, but they'll go for it on fourth down. They are going to go for it. It's Newton. Completes it to Dixon. And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line. It's a gain of 9 yards. And on fourth down, they're able to convert and move the sticks.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up the first down.
And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. Now, before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. And the 8th play on this drive coming up. They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. And now the JAGS defense deciding to call a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. It's been a pretty long drive. This will be play number 9, and they need 10 yards out of it on third. Newton going to hand it off to McCaffrey. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on fourth. And now the JAGS going to signal for another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Here's Michael Pilardi now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. Before the offense changes hands here, let's look back to the Super Bowl February 5th. What a game. I know you were there calling it offensively, though. Impressive on both sides.
It certainly was, and let's face it, if you're in Minnesota, it's cold outside, but you talk about the offenses, they heated up in a big way. And how about Nick Foles? The backup quarterback turned MVP, 373 yards, 3 touchdowns.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. It's the Pro Bowler Luke Kuechly that picks it. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Really nice starting field position here for the offensive unit. Flushed out right. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Encroachment, defense.
So it was the defense that jumped, and that'll move them 5 yards closer.
Wonder how they did it. Wonder if they twitched a little bit up front, you know, a little subtle head movement that the officials didn't detect, but they got it done. Now they're 5 yards closer for their field goal attempt.
So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. And Gano's kick is right through. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So they kick it through to take the lead. There is a little bit of time left, though, here in the second quarter.
And while they're concerned about not giving up a big return or giving up points themselves going into the half, how good do they feel, though, putting points on the board themselves right near the end of the first half?
design run for their wideout. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. A final shot before half for Bortles. Escaping the pressure, and he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Panthers. They'll have it first on offense in the third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2. Now third down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
To throw is Newton. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. This is taken at the 23. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Jaguars go on offense, first down and 10. Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker boards?
Yeah, those two.
No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1.
And that's one of the few times they've been able to contain him. He's had a heck of a game, and maybe he's getting a little bit tired from how many times he's carried the ball. But I always think back to what all those old coaches say. The ball's not that heavy. Keep carrying it, kid.
23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got room. And past the 30 down to about the 27.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old-school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks, allow other people to make tackles. And when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with 3rd down coming up.
Nice job there defensively on third down. Not only did they string the play out, but they didn't allow any room for a cutback. Really well organized on the defensive side.
They'll try and run for it with Fournette. So he fought off the tackle, and that effort gives him the first before he's brought down. And they got 3 yards. That's enough. A conversion, and now it's 1st and goal.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot has been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on third down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. Now Bortles. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. Now Bortles throwing on 2nd down. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Marquise Lee, the intended target, and it's 3rd down.
All right, Captain, it's batten down the hatches time defensively. Dodged 2 pass attempts to the end zone. Now what do you think they're going to try and dial up on 3rd and goal?
Well, knowing them and knowing what we just seen, I think they're throwing it again, don't you?
I think you have to. I think in this situation, you've kind of run out of your running plays. Fire another one into the end zone.
How about the defensive stand here from 1st and goal, 3 straight incompletion.
Yeah, I think people are wondering why didn't they try and run it at least once in there. But once the first incompletion happened, it's almost like they were committed to throwing the ball from then on out.
So they come away from this opening drive in the 3rd quarter with only 3, but at least it does draw them back level.
And that has to be job 1. A touchdown certainly would have been nice. But here, you get back on even terms, and now you've got the rest of the second half to try and get yourselves in front.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Carolina getting set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey, and he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Here's McCaffrey. The ball's out. McCaffrey lost it. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. The Panthers on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Here's Newton. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
This offense converted once on 4th down earlier. Now they're out there again to try once more. They will go for it. Now Newton. And it is incomplete. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Jags take over in terrific field position. So, Charles, talk about a play that could prove pivotal. And I mean pivotal. That decision right there could be really costly.
Without a doubt. You talk about taking a chance there and deciding you're going to go all in, as they like to say. That's exactly what that one was, and it didn't pay off.
Yeah, inside their own territory, game tied this stage of the contest. Boy.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
On 2nd down, here's Fournette. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he is out of bounds, but not before taking this inside the 10 to the 7. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
When big runs occur, sometimes there's a sense that things were pretty easy, and that one carried him down inside the 10. But getting into the end zone now, that won't be easy at all because you're going to face different defenses and not as much real estate to work with. Will they be able to run it, or will they have to throw it in order to try and score?
He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes it's just a matter of philosophy. Some say run it until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well...
And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. A great effort there. An 8-yard touchdown run. And the Jaguars have moved out in front. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how we're going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. Here are the Panthers now as their offense comes back out onto the field. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. So nothing there. I don't know that that's all in the back, though. You got to look at blocking there, don't you?
I would agree with that totally. At some point, they have to win at the point of attack. Instead, it's the defense getting it done again and holding them to no gain.
The Panthers on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. A shotgun snap for Newton. Eluding the pressure right. He may try and run for this. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. If they're going to have a shot in this Super Bowl, they're going to need this one on 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Flush to his right. He can run for it, and he will. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. Turns out to be a great idea to tuck that one. Good for 24 yards.
All right, partner, I'm a defender, but I've got to express my admiration there. Moving around, making it happen, and instead of worrying about protecting himself, he goes and gets the 1st down. I've got to give it to him on that one.
Normally, you don't want your guy taking shots, your quarterback, but it's winning time here in the 4th quarter. If he needs to make those plays with the legs, go ahead, right?
Yeah, no doubt about it. At this stage of the game, all protections, they're off.
And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. The bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him. Newton
able to use those legs and get past the marker to pick up the 1st. So an instance there of Cam being Cam. We know he can use his legs.
And with that big body, it's hard to get him down, even if you get a clear shot on him. Plus, he moves it a lot faster.
Oh, no, he lost the football. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
Oh, no, he lost the football. And this is going to get out of bounds, so they will gain a bit of yardage on the play, actually, and they'll hold on to the football as well. The Panthers on 3rd down. They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. From the gun, here's Newton. Looking for the tight end, Olsen, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Barry Church. And he'll take it all the way up near the 30-yard line.
Brandon, offensively, this has been a tough day for him. Trying to find a place to throw the football. It's been extremely difficult. I've got to give a lot of credit to the secondary, especially the corners, who've had the receivers on lockdown.
They begin with a run by Fournette. Across the 30 to the 31-yard line. Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. This will be taken at the 10. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And possession will switch hands. 1st and 10. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. And the interception that ended their previous drive, that might be one we look back on and say that was the turning point of this game.
Hey, partner, guess what? There's still time for a few more turning points in this ball game. They're only 1 score down.
Yeah, true. We could have some twists and turns. Stay tuned. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Flushed out right. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a 1st down. Late in the game, defense trying to avoid a big play. He's able to work out of the passing game, turn it into a run, pick up the 1st, and stop the clock as well.
And you know in this situation, everything is sped up. The intensity, the thinking, everyone's movement. But for a quarterback, he has to continue to be what we call a flatliner. Level in everything he does, and read the clock, feel it in the pocket, and go at the appropriate time.
Escaping the pressure right. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Okay, he's not going to get the 1st down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
2nd down to the offense, needing 5 yards. Newton now to throw. Rolling to his right. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Jalen Ramsey. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line.
Well, I get what he was trying to do. He was moving to his right and trying to shift the coverage. But instead, he shifted the coverage also to the right and threw right into it for an interception.
Comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
11 yards there for Jacksonville and a 1st down as well. I think this defense tired of seeing him run the football, and this D-line probably getting sick of the O-line as well.
And as I'm watching this, I'm thinking about a conversation I had with Adam Gase, the head coach of the Miami Dolphins in the offseason. He told me that he asked his running backs each week for their favorite runs. Give me your 3 top runs. And right now, you're seeing a guy that's probably using his top runs to great advantage in this game.
He is in a zone. That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a 1st down.
That's another nice run, and I have to tell you, some of the coaches that I played for, their philosophies were always different when they see a guy running the ball well. Some of them wanted to immediately go to play action and throw it now because it's wide open. While other coaches said, you know something? Until they stop him, that big boy's going to keep getting the football. And that might be the direction that they're going to go right now.
The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Jacksonville first down on a pickup of 17.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that winds up a decent run, and it also takes us to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes to go here in Super Bowl 52 from Minneapolis. We're back to perhaps crown a champion after this. They'll run it now out of the gun. Wiggles free. Right around the 31. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bring up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word, put it in bold. Here we go. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short. No good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
They start on the ground with McCaffrey. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
Back to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that, because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
They'll look to throw. Steps away to his left. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Telvin Smith in there to drop him as the clock continues to roll.
Brandon, that's just football 101. If you're out of the pocket, you've got to get rid of the football in this situation. You cannot take a sack in a 2-minute drill.
What a Super Bowl this has been, and the biggest play comes now. It's 4th down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Flush to his right. And he is out of bounds on the other side of midfield. 13 yards there on the pickup. And the Panthers are going to get a 1st down. They got exactly what they wanted there. Out route, catch, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
And I have to criticize defense here because you know the situation. You want to keep them inbounds and have the clock run. So I'm sitting on the outside portion of the field and not letting them throw an out route. Throw anything inside and I'll make the tackle. An out route? That's not the way you're supposed to play it.
And now before this 1st down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with 27 seconds showing on the clock. Back to throw. Flushed out right. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So he was past the line of scrimmage when he threw it.
And as they say, that's a no-no. Got to be able to understand where you are on the field and not cross the line before throwing the ball downfield.
He's back to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. So now Cam leads the Panthers up following the sack. Carolina facing 3rd and long. incomplete. 12 seconds left. What a great sequence by this defense so far. They've given him nowhere to go with the football.
And they just have to make it stand up one more time because it appears that they've got their number. Can they not have a slip up here and allow the touchdown?
Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on 4th down. They snap it to Newton. And he finds a man. It's McCaffrey. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So the big play nullified, illegal forward pass.
And maybe we know why they were able to get such a good chunk of yardage on that play. That pass was illegal.
Time for this one final knee to put a bow on this title bout. And the Jaguars have done it. Jacksonville, the Super Bowl champions. For the victors getting to hoist that Lombardi trophy, you know, we've talked to guys that have done it, and they say there's no better feeling in sports.
I don't know how there can be. The journey to get to this game is incredible. And then to finally break through and win it when all eyes are on this game alone because there's nothing else going on, that's just got to be absolutely amazing. The task, incredible. But the accomplishment, forever.
And they are the Super Bowl champs. The Lombardi trophy is theirs, and so are bragging rights for an entire season. What a season it has been. Feels like we have been there every step of the way. Our entire crew doing a wonderful job. Thanks to my broadcast partner, Charles Davis. For all those guys, I'm Brandon Gunn signing off. We'll talk to you next season right here on EA Sports.